All right, hit it, girl.
Question 1. Tell me about your faith journey.
Well, my faith is so deep and goes back so far. I can remember as a little girl being dragged down the street. We lived in the city and we didn't have a car. And I had 2 brothers that were younger than me, and we were always running late on Sunday morning, and my parents holding on to all 3 hands, trying to drag us down the street so we wouldn't be late getting to church. That's how deep my faith is. I had been blessed in that through Curtis's work with Delta Airlines, we have moved around the country and gotten to see some beautiful parts of the country and seen God's wonder in so many different ways. Alaska, you just cannot believe, everywhere you look, everything is so big or so deep or so wild. The mountains are so high, you get a crick in your neck driving down the road, and you look down the other side and there are dolphins flipping around in the water, or whales. Okay, and then when we left there, we went to a wonderful ski town called Jackson Hole, Wyoming, strictly a tourist town, and learned to ski when I was 50 years old. Learned to ski down very high mountains. Now, I never got to be really, really good, but I got to where I could get down the mountain, and as one who is afraid of heights, that was quite an accomplishment. But you see God in every place you look, especially when there's a moose going down right beside you down the mountain. Close enough that you could reach out and touch him. You say, God, please let me get down this mountain, okay? And then we left there and went to a big, big town called Houston, Texas. And that was very, very different, but met some of the most wonderful people. And when they say Texas is a friendly place, they mean it. Everybody you meet is just wonderful. I went from being a Baptist, raised as a Baptist, from early childhood until early marriage years. Then we kind of fell into another church by way of invitation. They needed an organist to come play for them. And I happened to be handy. So I went and filled in as organist. Okay, I'll help this congregation get started in a Lutheran church. My parents were never quite sure I would ever get to heaven. Because it was not in the Baptist church. But they found out through us that God goes to a lot of different churches. And then we kind of, looking for a new church, fell upon First Presbyterian Church of Covington. The most wonderful revelation, the friendliest people, the most God-loving people. They take you as you are and help you grow. And we have found a place that we really call home. So that's my faith journey, because faith has led me from being a Baptist to a Lutheran to a Presbyterian, even though I couldn't spell it. They let me come and be a member. That's faith. That's faith. Yeah.
I forgot what question we're on.
It's okay.
Question
Mix them up.
Didn't she already answer the question? How did you become involved in First Presbyterian Church?
Well, it took about 3 Sundays, I think, of visiting here, and joining. We joined right before your mom came here. We haven't been here very long, a little over 3 years, when Pastor Stephen was here. And he convinced us that we'd be happy here. There wouldn't be any problem here. But we met people like Miriam that said, I need help here. We need help here. they need help here. I'm pointing just to imaginary places because there were all these little holes that needed plugging in. And Curtis and I said, well, we can help out there. We can help out there. And it wasn't hard to find a place to find things to do, and meeting people like your mom and your daddy and this little girl right here, you know. It's been real easy to find places to get to work, you know. You're gonna have to push us out of the way if you don't want us, okay? That's all I got to say.
Question 3. What do you love about our congregation?
This congregation is love, through and through. They take you as you are and use you for what you've got. Excuse me, I get teary-eyed. That's about a month ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and this cancer is a hard word to say, you know, and but you find out that people help you get through it, and I've been put in touch with some wonderful doctors that believe in God, and they have convinced me that between their medicine and our God, we're going to get through this. You hold that thought, okay? God is good. Excuse me. I'm not sad because I have cancer. It's just that it brings so many thoughts of love. Everybody's been so wonderful about this whole situation and reaching out with a hug. And that's what brings tears to my eyes. They're happy tears. They're happy tears. Next question.
Question 4. How have you served in the church over the years?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've taught Sunday school. I've led choirs, children's choirs and adult choirs. I've taught handbell choirs. I've been a church organist for 45 years. Arthritis has kind of taken hold of my hands, and so I don't play instruments much anymore. They just don't sound real pretty when I try to play anymore. But I still love music, and we are so blessed with wonderful musicians in this church that it's easy to sit back and listen for a change.
Question 5. What advice would you give to a person new to faith or church?
Believe with your whole heart that God is there all the time, anytime, no matter what the situation. And if you truly believe you can do anything, you can be anything, you are everything in the eyes of God. And don't ever forget it. Okay.
Okay, so that was the last question, but I have another.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Whatever happened to that moose? Is he okay?
He saw the way I was skiing and it scared him down there. Trust me.